Today we're putting basic and simple clone builds up against their ultimate level 100 forms. Is it a massive upgrade or just a small change? Let's find out. Starting with the first build, which is the room of a clone trooper. As you can see, this room is really small and also empty. The only thing you have inside is this bed. Bruh. And this bed is just big enough for a clone to sleep on. Bro's really sleeping with a helmet. This bed is way too small for the clone, so if he makes just one small move, he might fall off. Yeah, this room isn't exactly the best one you can live in. So the next build is a 5-star clone room. This room is like twice as big as the last one. And the floor is made of this red carpet. And this makes the room look way more fancy. This room also has a way bigger bed. And once you're ready to sleep, you can just turn off this light. In this room you also have a place to put your helmet and weapon. And finally there's this place where you can just relax. If I was a clone, I would for sure like to live in this room. But this room is only meant for the most important clones. So this shiny here is not welcome.
My leg!
For the next build I made a place where you can store your helmet and weapons. And it's made of two different builds. First we have this helmet stand. This is made using just 3 pieces. And next we have this weapon stand. This build is also really simple. And it fits 2 blasters. So here the clones can get ready for battle. The only problem is that it's kinda small. So for the next build I made this big armory. On the left side you have the armor. And on these shelves the clones can put their helmets. And under here they can put the rest of their armor. And on this side we have the weapons. Here the clones can choose whichever gun they like. There are these long rifles and also these medium rifles. But there's also clones that prefer pistols. And those pistols are in this crate. So this armory has everything you need. And it marks the other one pretty hard. For this next build I made a speeder. This speeder is really small and basic. In the front you have a seat. And in this seat sits a clone who drives the speeder. Behind the driver there's also another spot. And here you can put another passenger. Or you can also use it to transport items. Like gold for example. Haha, my gold now. For this next build I made a big land speeder. If you look at it from above it kinda looks like a block. Bruh. But at least it has some pretty cool features. Here we have the driver's seat. And to drive the speeder around there's this steering wheel. And there's also a control panel. And this controls these guns.
Uh-oh.
Strike! On the back of this speeder I put this engine. And this gives the speeder an extra speed boost. And now finally my favorite part of this build. And that's in the front. The front looks pretty normal. But it actually has a secret compartment. And inside there's a lot of space. And you can use this to transport a lot of different things. Like guns for example. But you can also use it to hide a minifigure.
No.
Show me your identification.
Yeah, it's in the front. So both speeders are good in their own way. But the most important thing is speed. So let's do a little race. And the land speeder wins. For the next build I made a fort. And this fort is really small. It has place for just 1 trooper. And it's also made entirely of wood. So it's pretty weak. So for the next build I made this big clone fortress. And this fortress has a really strong defense. On the walls we have clone troopers defending it from every side. And these walls are really strong, so it's pretty much impossible to get in. The only way you can enter is through this gate. But this gate is actually a secret trap, because on the other side it has these spikes. But before you even get close to the base, you have to get through this minefield.
La 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 la.
Now let's move on to the inside. And this part of the base is completely empty.
Bruh.
Except for this secret room. And inside is a small bar. And here you can get your favorite drinks. And on the other side there's a dance corner.
Bruh.
For the next build amid camouflage clones, we are now on this grassy planet. And here we have the level 1 camouflage.
Bruh.
We can literally see you, bro. Yeah, this camouflage is pretty awe. But if you take a closer look, you can see the level 100 camouflage clone. To stay hidden, this clone is wearing Kashyyyk Trooper armor. And on his back he also has this leaf. And this helps him to blend in with the environment. And finally, his gun also has camouflage.
Nice.
The next build is a battle. And for the level 1 build I made the lamest battle possible. It's just between one droid and one clone.
Bruh.
So now it's time for the last build. And that's the level 100 battle. This battle is way bigger and also way deadlier than the other one. And it consists of 2 different battles. Starting with the one on the ground. For this build we're on the planet Kashyyyk. So the ground is made of these leaves. And in the middle of this field there's a dead clone. Because he just got shot. So these 2 other clones are hiding. And they are pretty cooked. Because there's a big group of super battle droids coming their way. And on top here we have another battle. And this battle is taking place on an old bridge. It's so old that plants have grown all around it. And it also has this big gap in the middle. And in this gap is a speeder that crashed right into it.
Bruh.
One of the clones riding it is now in droid territory. So he's about to get shot. But luckily another clone noticed. And he's about to save him using this RPG. Huh? I'm alive! And finally we have some more super battle droids fighting with clones. And these clones are taking cover behind these boxes. And that was all the builds. The level 100 builds were definitely way cooler. But they also took way more bricks.